Hey, it's me. Let's talk about love again. Because without love, we start to wither like a plant that hasn't been watered. Here's something important to understand: the love you receive isn't what keeps you alive, it's the love inside you, the love you give that fuels your soul. This love, this life force, is what gives meaning to everything. Without it, life can feel empty, dull, and directionless. You probably already know that deep down. You want to be loved. That's something all of us feel. But here's where things tend to get tricky. Just because you crave love doesn't mean you know how to give it. And those two things are completely different. In fact, the more desperate you feel for love, the more likely it is that you've built walls around yourself out of fear, insecurity, or past wounds. And those walls, they block you from opening your heart, from truly loving, and from feeling that deeper connection you long for. In past episodes, I've shared many ways to break down these walls. One of the biggest barriers to love comes from something most of us don't even realize: our earliest relationships, especially with our parents or caregivers. These relationships shape the way we experience love for the rest of our lives. As children, we see the world generally in black and white. We don't yet understand the complexity of human nature. So we form ideas about our parents, ideas that are often exaggerated or one-sided. Maybe we see them as perfect and put them up on a pedestal, or maybe we see them as deeply flawed and hold on to resentment or hurt. Either way, these childhood impressions stick. Even if as adults we know that people are complicated, emotionally we may still see our parents through the eyes of a child. And here's the problem: when we carry those unprocessed feelings into adulthood, they shape the way we connect with others. We react to people based on old wounds, not on reality. And until we untangle those past emotions, it's hard to love others or even ourselves fully and freely. So how do we change this? Like with a lot of things, it starts with awareness. Ask yourself, how do I truly see my parents? Do you see them as flawed but human? Or do they still feel like larger than life figures in your mind? Do you still carry anger or pain from the way they treated you? Do you see them as people who had their own struggles, their own wounds, their own fears? Once you begin to see them as whole, complicated human beings, not just the version of them you experienced as a child, you start to free yourself. You begin to release old pain, heal old wounds, and open up space in your heart for more love, not just in your past, but in your present too. If your parents are still alive, this shift in perspective may even help you connect with them in a new way. And if they're no longer here, the healing can still happen. Sometimes it's not about what they say or do now, it's about how you choose to see them. I know this isn't always easy. You might resist doing this work, maybe out of loyalty or fear or simply not wanting to reopen old wounds. But avoiding it doesn't erase the impact. The truth is, the way you see your past does shape your present. The good news is, though, that you have the power to change that. So start by being honest with yourself. Do you really want to see the truth? Or are you holding on to an old story because it feels safer? If you're open to seeing things differently, life has a way of bringing clarity, of helping you understand what once felt impossible to make sense of. And here's something beautiful to remember: truth and love always go hand in hand. The more truth you allow yourself to see, the more love you allow yourself to feel. And when you open yourself to love, Real love, not just the need to be loved. You open yourself to life in its fullest, richest form. Give yourself that gift because you deserve it. Love you. Connect soon.